Hey everybody, welcome back to Wyattoneable Garage. Today we're going to take the front seat out of the Cadillac and see what's underneath, because I know I got some issues. I got a wire sticking out on one side and the seat is not secured. The automatic seat adjuster works, but it's very intermittent and it's making a lot of noise. So there's some issues I want to take care of there. I suspect there's some holes in the floor. And so I want to address that, at least clean it up and see what I got to do. So I thought I'd bring you along. Now, because the seat is unsecure, I did look up underneath there and found out that it's just because there's missing bolts. It's supposed to have 8 altogether, and I got 2. So I spent some time finding some bolts that match. They don't match exactly, so I did a little machining to make them look a little more professional. Probably no one's ever going to see it again, but I got to use my lathe anyway. And we ran the tap and die set through the existing mounting points on the floor, and they're in good shape. So I got everything cleaned up and ready to go on that aspect of the seat. But we got to tackle some issues in the car itself. So let's go. We're back at it. I had my wife help me get the seat out. It is heavy. And the reason I'm doing it, for a few reasons. One is, that's kind of dangerous. That's been sticking out since I've owned the car and just hadn't gotten around to it. The switch is not very not very good. It works, but it's very, I don't know, loose inside. So you have to jiggle it and play around. Sometimes the motor works, sometimes it doesn't, but at least it works. So we got a mechanical issue there to fix. And then I'll show you some of the floor. So yes, I knew about this when I bought the car. I could see from underneath that it had been patched with fiberglass, and that's okay. We're not winning any prizes here. You can see, however, they didn't do that side, so I've got to do some work over there, at least to get it waterproof. Haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. Underneath the passenger's front side, same issue. We got some rust problems. I made this plate here earlier and got that RTV'd in, and so we'll have to do some work there as well. But we are, other than that, rust free. You know, the door panels and the floor underneath the seats all in good shape. So not too bad for, what, 50-something-year-old car. And yeah, I guess that's it. We'll just keep working here. Another reason I took the seat out is when I was driving the car home, the seat would just rock back and forth. So come to find out that it was only held in by one original bolt on that side and another bolt over there on that side, just 2 bolts. So it needs 4 in each corner, so I modified these bolts, as you saw, to match the original ones. So we'll get the seat secured at the very least. You can see what I mean here. There's only one bolt hole even accessible. They just put this foam rubber underneath the carpet, which is the wrong material, and they address that too. I don't know yet, but at least got to get access to this other hole here. What I'll do is cut this out actually completely. I want metal to metal. Seats should be right on the floor, not cushioned by a carpet, I don't think. So let me get that fixed. So the first concern was this rod, and that's going to be easy enough. It just goes through here. The seat has been recovered in its life, so it just became unsecure. It's just a matter of pulling this back through. I'll need both hands for that. And then I want to do whatever I can to ensure this works. This is expensive unit. If you find them used, even they're about $600. The only damage I see is this thing here is broke, so I'll have to see if that makes a difference or I need to adjust it. Going after another problem within the seat, and that's the switch there for the controls. The switch box itself came out just with screws, no problem there. To reveal the switch, I don't know, wires. This side is covered by a piece of plastic that keeps all the terminals in place, but we have found why there's an intermittent problem. This terminal is broke here, so I need to find. It's supposed to be like a horseshoe or a U shape. You can kind of see down in there. And what they do is encompass these pins, so they need a tight connection around those pins. And obviously that's not going to do it if you get half the piece missing. So I need to see if I have something that'll work and replace that pin, and hopefully that'll take care of the in a minute problem. Let me tell you, this is a hard connector to find online. I bet you I spent 3 hours off and on during the day trying to find something online using any description I could think of, and nothing came up. My brother, however, searched by putting in vintage car or vintage automobile connectors and actually found something very similar. So those are coming, and the reason I'm going to have them is obvious. I want them in my own stock, but I got this one and 2 others in case I screwed it up from my buddy at the fire department. In fact, he's my chief. He's a car guy as well, and he had some in stock. So I went to the firehouse and met him. He left them there for me, and I picked them up this morning. So this is installed now, and overnight I had this, I heated it up and then put it in my vise, just right here actually. It's a nice flat surface in there, so I was able to get that as straight as possible. Still not perfect, but pretty good. It just covers the wires, retains them. So let me get this back together. I rebuilt the switch box, just had to do a repair in there, got everything cleaned and lubed. This will all go back in, and the seat will be setting aside. All right, boy, that sure feels better. My goodness, just like new. The last thing in the seat is to see if I can't fix that. I guess it's just a way of, I just got to get it, hold it in, because it held in. It's like a speedometer cable, square cable, drives a gear in there. So let's just see while we're here. Well, let's look at it together. Yeah, so it's just a busted. So that's probably not important, although I'll go ahead and glue that and, you know, do what we can to secure it. There's enough force in the cable, it's actually staying on, so that's not as important as I thought. So that's good news. I will work on that though. And it's just starting to rain outside. Well, it won't rain inside, dummy. Anyway, I've got kind of a hillbilly fix for this, but I just feel a little more confident now that I'm not going to have to worry about this cable coming out. It's in there nice and tight. We're going to call that one good and move on. Well, except for some cleanup, the seat's done. I spent some time cleaning the chrome here. I took them off actually to tighten up the fasteners behind it. So we have the handheld straps are in good shape now. This bolt underneath there was stripped, and I was able to chase the threads in the seat, and they worked out to be good. Just need to be cleaned up. Got a new bolt there. This one's clean. So the seat is done, except for, like I said, I'll get some cleaning in there, shampoo. Now the seat's going to sit here a while. I've got some work to do on the floor of the car before it goes back in. So that's it for this video, guys. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video.